Hello, everyone. It is 6 o'clock straight up. I am hoping everyone that's watching this is doing so from someplace that is warm and dry because winter in Nebraska sucks. I'm Karen Hasse. This is Steve Williams. This is Bobby Truey. Together we are the KSB of KSB School Law. This webinar is designed for brand new board members, but if you are a veteran board member and you're listening in, we want to welcome you. If this is your first time using Zoom, or if you're using Zoom on a home computer because the weather forced you to reschedule your board meeting, I want to give you one little tip on making sure that this, what your screen looks like is what you want to see. If you look in the upper right-hand corner of your screen, you'll see a little thing that says Gallery View. If you don't want to see all the participants, you can scroll down until you get to the lovely view of Karen, Steve, and Bobby. And then in the upper right-hand corner of that, you can click on the three little dots where it says Pin Video. And then hopefully what your screen will show is a slide deck that right now says 5 things every new board member needs to know. And then to the side of that, or in the corner of that, pictures of, or a live video of the three of us looking ever so stellar in our various stages of KSB casual wear. We are recording this. I will edit the recording together tonight so that we'll have the whole thing in one long loop, and then we'll have each little subsection also parceled out. That'll be up on the website, and the talented and lovely Sherry Russell will send links out to that to everyone who's participating. I think that's the end of like the original or the organizational technological stuff. If you do have any tech issues, let us know. One of the things that Bobby, your clicker's not working. One of the reasons we wanted to do this webinar was because if you're a new board member, we're your lawyers, and we don't get a chance to meet you as you start off in the school board member business. And so we wanted to have you have a chance to put names with faces and the identity of our law firm with who we are. We also have been doing this for a long time, some of us longer than others. And so these are the questions that board members most typically have when they first start as a board member. So what we've done is we've picked the 5 things that people most often have questions about. And we're going to go through those in a quick, fast, hard-hitting switch. Swapped. No, click the other clicker. All right, we'll just have to push it. So we started out years ago. We broke off from a big law firm, and we started out with just Karen, Steve, and Bobby. We, this past year, have added 2 new attorneys. Cody Pruitt and Mandy Grulke are on the screen in the picture to what would be your left. And then Sherry Russell is our paralegal and office manager, who you've probably heard from. And then Matt Russell is our office coordinator, who kind of wrangles us and drives us and tells us when to go places and what to do. Last thing we want to let you know is that we are going to take quick little breaks during the next 50 minutes. But this is so much more interesting if we're answering your questions rather than just blabbing along. I love this webinar technology. I think it's the way to the future. I think it saves boards money and it keeps you home instead of having to take a day off work. But it can get kind of boring, and it can be frustrating if you have questions that don't get answered. So this is Steve's cell phone number. He's the designated text receiver tonight. So if you've got questions as we go, shoot those questions via text message to Steve-O, and then the 3 of us, well, the old man will figure out how to look at his text messages, and then the 3 of us will answer them. So that's the end of the sort of throat clearing, getting started part of the show. So here's the 5 things we're going to talk about tonight. These are 5 things that we see new board members be frustrated by as they come onto the board. We're going to start with parliamentary procedure and say a bunch of rude things about Robert's Rules of Order. We're going to talk about the basics of how to get in and out of closed session, which is way more complicated than it should be, but the unicameral has made it that way. I'm going to tell you that you don't have to title the house in your wife's name or your husband's name because it's pretty rare that you have personal liability as a board, but we'll talk about that. Fourthly, we're going to talk about patron complaints, because I'm sure all of you are in districts where nobody ever has any complaints, but sometimes we do get phone calls from people that have patrons with complaints. And then we're going to finish up by doing a little bit on your roles and responsibilities as a board member. So that's the game plan.